All right. Hi. Let's get this going here. So, welcome back. I hope week 1 was really awesome. If not, here's to week 2. We'll get a fresh start. So, if you recall, if you were in my class last week, we talked about things that you can expect. One of those things being these videos. Every week I record one going over what we do in class. This week, you won't have any Google slides to turn in because what we're doing is not on slides, it's something different, but you'll still get to see what we're doing this week if you're absent for some reason. So, the first thing that we're going to start off with is going to be something that you do in class. So, if you're gone, it's okay. You just missed it. We're going to do a Kahoot review to talk about or recap and review everything that we talked about last week, things that are important to know about class, how we do things, what to expect, all of that. And then we're going to start a time capsule project, is what I'm calling it. So, if you go into Canvas, you can see it'll look like this. So this is my English 11 class, but I'm doing this with all my classes, so you should all see it. So it should be right here, week 2. Here's the turn-in spot for it. It says 4 points, but that just means like there's 4 sections on the rubric that you could get. So anyway, if you have questions about that, you can ask me later. But we've got a bunch of links here. The Kahoot link for when we do it in classes here. My example, which I'll show you in just a second, is linked here. Canva, which is the website we'll be using for this project, is linked. I also linked the Google form that I would really, really appreciate if you could get filled out and turned into me. Most of you did it last week, but there were still some that didn't. And I know most of that was because of issues with service in the building. And then if you are a junior of mine, specifically first, fifth, and seventh period, you will need to fill this out. And we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But the capsule instructions, when you look at them, which they'll be in here, they'll look like this. So essentially, I want us to be able to take this time and like freeze it and be able to look at it 9 months from now. If you see in the top, a lot can happen in 9 months. Sometimes we don't think that that's really anything, but you will be very different, or you should be very different by the end of the school year than you were right now. And so I want to be able to help you capture that and do some reflection when we end the school year together. So we're going to start this project now, and technically you won't finish half of it until June, but we're going to do the bulk of it right now in September. So, we're going to create a time capsule to show your growth personally, academically, socially, emotionally, all that stuff. So, here's what you're going to do. You're going to use a website called canva.com. If you've had me before, you know that I use this all the time. I've had you use it before. If not, it's okay. I will show you in class how to use it. It's very simple. I linked it in the instructions. And then you can see in these 12 boxes, this is what you will need to put in the time capsule itself. So when I say time capsule, I'm not necessarily meaning like a physical box that you're putting stuff into. I'm talking about like, it'll be like a little booklet of pages that you create that I will print out for you. So we've got three adjectives to describe you, one thing that makes you unique, one thing that you love about yourself, 3 things that you did over the summer, 3 things that made you happy or make you happy and proud, etc. 3 hobbies, interests, or activities, stuff that you do. 3 of your favorites, so things that you like, shows, movies, food, songs, whatever. 3 fun facts about yourself. 2 goals for this school year. I want 1 to be academic and 1 to be personal. 1 thing you're excited about for this year, 1 thing you want to learn in or out of English. It could go either way. And then to wrap it up, you're going to do 1 to 2, so 1 minimum, 2 maximum paragraphs describing what you hope this school year will be like for you. So your dreams, your goals, your expectations. I know some of those things on the list sound like they're almost the same thing, like I'm being repetitive, but I promise you I'm not, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So if you click here, you should be able to pull up this link. This shows you an example that I made. So this is to give you an idea of what I'm looking for. Now, keep in mind, Canva is an incredible website, but sometimes it can be overwhelming because there's so many different things you can do with it. I kind of looked for like certain aesthetic themes that I wanted to put this together with, like the font and the color and shapes and all of that, but you can make this how you want to. So you can use a template or you can just start from scratch. So you're going to have some sort of cover page that says your name and then the time capsule. And if you scroll through, you should be able to see that I'm answering all of the questions, and I'm using written words to do so, as well as pictures. Now, I used a lot of pictures that I took, but I also used pictures that I just found on Canva to represent what I was talking about. So you can do the same. It can be a mixture of pictures you find, pictures that you have. So if you keep scrolling, you will see that I answer all the questions, and here's how you end it with the hopes for the school year. So all of that is listed here. The second half of this project we will not do until June, so you don't need to worry about that part now. I just put it on the paper so that you can see what we're going to do with it at the very end of the year. But for now, all we're doing is this part 1 in September. If you scroll down, you'll find the rubric. So again, we're doing proficiency-based grading, so you will get a score in one of these categories, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And each one lists exactly what I would expect if you scored a 3 versus a 2. So if you have questions about what this is or what it means, please ask me, but it should be pretty clear and self-explanatory when you read the rubric. So that's how I'm going to score it. And again, this is all on Canvas, linked right under where you submit it. I don't have a due date set until September 19th, which would be next Monday. So not this week at all, but the following Monday, because I think that should be plenty of time for you to get it done. Okay, so that was number 1. So that's going to be what we're working on for the bulk of the period on Tuesday through Friday. So basically this whole week. While that's happening, we're going to be doing check-ins. So I'm going to call you up one at a time, and we're going to talk about your Google form that you filled out last week. We're going to answer any questions that you have, and just have a time to check in with you and talk to you one-on-one. So if you haven't, please fill these out. These are linked on Canvas, like I said. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, we are hopefully, depending on if the track is available, gonna go do a community lap around the track. This is something that I did with all of my juniors last year, and they loved it. We tried to do it as often as the weather would be working with us. And right now it seems to be fine. So the idea is that we go out on the track, and I'm going to give you a partner, or in this case, it'll be a group of 3. So 2 partners, and you're going to answer this question. Before we go on the track, you'll have time to answer it on on a scratch piece of paper, take it with you. The whole goal behind this is that I'm going to do my best to get to know you and have relationships with you, but you also need to have relationships and get to know the people in your class as well. So that's why we do this. If talking to new people or talking to people that you wouldn't necessarily talk to is scary, or gives you anxiety, or makes you kind of frustrated because you just want to be with your friends, remember to tackle everything that we don't like or are intimidated to do with a growth mindset, and know that this is going to be something that you actually really will enjoy. And yes, it might be awkward to get to know somebody that you don't know very well or wouldn't normally talk to, but it's going to be rewarding in the end. So we'll do that together in class on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then pick up with continuing to work on the time capsule project and doing check-ins. And then we'll do the same exact thing on Thursday and Friday, and a possible another walk around the track. And then for my juniors, you are going to do one other thing for me on Thursday and Friday. You're going to fill out this form. It should look like this. I'll explain more because this only pertains to my juniors, but I am going to be having several guest speakers come and speak this year, and I'll explain why, but I need you to fill this out because it's going to help me figure out who to bring in for you based off of what you're interested in. So please fill that out if you are a junior. It's linked on your Canvas page. But that's it. So if you have any questions for the week 2, September 12th through the 16th, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you later.